You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you for joining your boy on this Wild Out Wednesday. But we got to bring it back one more time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. June 3rd, 2015. What's happening? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining your boy. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing great. Starting to get hot out there, man. It has been for the last couple of days, starting to get hot out there. I'm just starting to realize it right now. This past weekend was just off the chain hot, and then we got all of this rain and stuff going on, especially here in the ATL. I'm traveling this weekend, just a lot of stuff going on, and it's officially summertime, man. Maybe we'll do a tribute Tuesday to the great Will Smith. You know, summertime, and I'll sing along with him as well. You know, give you my rendition, which I'm sure you all look forward to. So, yeah. Thank you for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Wild Out Wednesday. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug at thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, a lot of great little sports stories to get into. We'll have a lot of fun. We got an interesting top 5 for you today as well that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. What are we going to talk about? Cam Newton's in the news. Adrian Peterson's in the news. Richard Sherman's in the news. Swaggy P is in the news. Damn it, and I forgot I wouldn't say his name anymore. The Swaggy P is in the news. The Georgia Bulldogs looking for a quarterback. Kind of, sort of. I'll talk about that today. Shouts out to everybody already in the chat room, man. I really appreciate it. Shouts out to Nino the Rhino, Sluggo, Niner for Life, even though Sluggo's nominated for a Boiled Penis Award. Niner for Life, Thorny Switch, Mocha Bella, Griff. Thank you. All right, so if you're new to the show, I mean, we have more fun around here than a little bit. All right, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern time. We talk about sports, obviously. We talk about whatever dudes are talking about, whatever you're conversating about at the water cooler. We get into that conversation. We do birthdays, and I read a lot of your chat. And the way to do that is to follow the show on Spreaker.com. All right, follow the show on Spreaker.com. Download the Doug Stewart Show app, too. You need to do both of them. But follow the show on Spreaker.com. And when you do that, there's a little chat button, bubble. You click on that, and then, bam, the Stewies are right there, and you're totally in the Doug Stewart Show chat world. And post your comments, and I read comments all day long and post all day long, and we have a good time with that. All right? So, Rob Gronkowski, in an interview yesterday, the tight end for the New England Patriots, before we get into Cam Newton getting his money, Rob Gronkowski on a radio station in Boston said that his family, the Gronkowskis, are going to make an appearance on Family Feud. Can you imagine how that's going to turn out? I mean, seriously. Can you imagine how that's going to turn out? Rob Gronkowski and his brothers, I mean, it's 4 brothers, and then there's going to be him, his brothers, and his dad are going to make this appearance. You know, you got to have 5 people for the Family Feud. So they're going to be on Family Feud, and I don't know if it's some type of situation where they're going to go against another quote-unquote celebrity family or whatever. But when I heard the story, man, I thought it was very interesting for a couple of things. One, because Rob Gronkowski, and you know his stilo, you know how he gets down. I mean, and really all of his brothers as well. You've seen photos and video footage of him and his brothers taking a trip to Vegas, and they just wild. They just got a wild caveman type streak to themselves. So that's going to be fun. And then it started me thinking about my youth and my childhood growing up and watching daytime TV shows. And the fact that, you know, we grew up in the country, and our grandmother watched us for most of the summer. I think maybe 1 week out of the summer, we went to 4-H camp, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. So we went to 4-H camp like once a year, but then for the rest of the damn summer, we sat on my grandmama's couch. And once again, I'm sure you can relate if you grew up during the era that I did. So we didn't have all of these summer camps and we went someplace every day where my parents had to pay. No, that's what grandmothers were for, watching grandkids. Okay? So it's different now. My kids, they spoil. They get to go to all these camps, and they learn how to swim and this, that, and the other. And they get lunches or whatever. So we went to free lunch. We had a free lunch at the local elementary school that we went to when we were very young. And then we went to my grandmother's house for the rest of the summer, okay, after that, after we stopped going to the little free lunch, and everybody knows about that as well. And so we used to sit on the couch, and my grandmother used to put on the stories. Or before the stories came on, she used to put on the game shows, okay? So you got The Price is Right and Hollywood Squares and Tic-Tac-Toe and What's My Line and all of those TV shows, and we could not move. No air condition. Grandmother never had an air condition. Never had an air condition to speak of. She had a window unit, a window fan, and she had a window unit, an air conditioner, in her room. And that was it. And if anybody's going to be cool in the damn house, it was grandmama. So, man, it started it started making me remember my youth and growing up, man, and I love those game shows. I love those game shows, man. I love them. So what I did today is I got a top 5, and listen to this, all right? You got to listen to the title of this top 5, and I want to get your thoughts on this as well. The top 5 most fun, old school TV shows, game shows of all times is what we're going to talk about today. That's a little side topic. Outside of Cam Newton, I also want to talk about this FIFA story, and I've really not even, touched upon the whole FIFA stuff because, let's be honest, that's not what the hell we around here talking about. We're not talking about no damn soccer. So, but an interesting development happened with that yesterday, and I'm kind of going to get into that a little bit and get your thoughts. If you're a soccer fan, how many people that we have that listen to this show are quote-unquote soccer fans? Do you watch it year-round or whenever the season's in for soccer? National, international soccer? Or do you just watch it during the Olympics or whatever and have some patriotism about it? Like I watch soccer during the Olympics whenever I thought the U.S. had a chance, but whenever the U.S. gets their ass kicked in the first game, I stop watching. So we're not really big soccer fans, but an interesting little story going on with FIFA and the Blatter guy, the president of FIFA for many, many years. We'll talk about that. We'll get into that conversation. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I give out these little things that we talk about that I'm going to talk about, but really whatever you want to get into, for the most part, we can get into it. And that's what we do around here. It's as simple as that. We talk about what the people want to talk about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shouts out to everybody that's donated to the Doug Stewart Show in the last week in particular, man. I've talked about it a little bit more, man, and really, really appreciate all of the love, man, and the donations that you send to the DougStewartShow.com. And if you'd like to donate, we would appreciate it. $20 or more, man. We'll send you an official First Run Doug Stewart Show t-shirt. And the way you can donate is by going to TheDougStewartShow.com, and there's a little donate button to the right. Click on that button, and it's easy. It's just like 3 steps. Easy, through PayPal, so it's secured. So, yeah, donate to the Doug Stewart Show, man, and let's support independent radio. Yes, and me. All right, when we get back from the break, Cam Newton getting pissed. Kinda, sorta. I'll break that down when we get back. Don't go away anywhere. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday. And we're also talking about the top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time, shorty. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to do that today. Also, talk about the sports and what's going on in the world of entertainment. But this segment is brought to you by Pride America. In life, things happen good or bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and a protector of this family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults. This is a sad statistic when I hear this, man. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. All right, so what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Pride America. I'm actually working with a great friend of mine, Mr. Greg Wynn. If you're a parent, a husband, or a wife who want to discuss options with one of Pride America's top reps, then call my guy Greg Wynn. His number is 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172. And make sure and tell him that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Greg is a great guy. I'm actually going to try to have him on the show tomorrow. Really trying to look out for your family, man. You hate to talk about these things, because it's a morbid topic, but I mean, man, ish happens. If you listen to this show, I've dealt with a couple of issues over the last couple of months. One of my line brothers passed away, and it could happen just like that, man. Protect your family. I mean, seriously, protect your family. You're smart. You're not dumb. You're not dumb. So just don't roll the dice, man. And holler at my folk at Prime America, Mr. Greg Wynn, 678-439-7172. All right, so we're going to talk about the top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. And I had to kind of narrow it down because there's so many game shows out there. I mean, there's like a million. And looking up, doing a little research on this, man, I'm familiar with 95% of these game shows. Not really the newer ones because I just don't watch game shows. I think that's kind of like a daytime phenomenon thing type situation. And most of the time you're working or you're doing other things. I think that's something that we really can, once again, I said earlier, we can agree upon and relate to. Something that when you were younger and you were, was an adult and they were watching them, you kind of watched them too. And they were cool and it was fun or whatever. But my top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time, coming in at number 5 on my list is Let's Make a Deal. Yes, sir. And I mentioned him yesterday for something totally different. What was his birthday? Yeah, yesterday was Wayne Brady's birthday, who's now the host of Let's Make a Deal. You know the whole thing, how that works. They got people dressed up in the audience, and they ask them questions, and they can pick behind the curtain, or they can do this, that, or the other. So a lot of fun, a lot of craziness. Whenever I think about Let's Make a Deal, I always think about that episode of Sanford and Son when Fred was dressed up as a gorilla and Grady was dressed up as a fairy. And they went on Let's Make a Deal, or was it called something else? Yeah, I think it was called Let's Make a Deal. And Fred pulled down the whole damn curtain trying to figure out what was behind the curtain before he chose his prize. So Let's Make a Deal comes in at number 5 on my list. Monty Hall. You remember the great Monty Hall? Monty Hall was the first host. And I'm looking at this right now. Monty Hall, the first year of Let's Make a Deal was 1963. So that was 6 years before I was even born. So Monty Hall hosted it from 63 to 77. Ooh, what's that, 14 years. straight. And then he left, I guess, for a little hiatus or something. And then he came back and hosted it from 1980 to 1981. Then he left again for a couple of years. I guess he has to go get his mind right or whatever. He left again, and then he came back in 1984 through 1986. Left again, hosted it again in 1991. Left again, and then he came back and hosted it in 2010 and 2013 as a guest host. So coming in at number 5 on the top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time is the great Let's Make a Deal. Yeah. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The Carolina Panthers are willing to invest, man, and going to invest $103 million into the great Cam Newton, the quarterback for the Carolina Panthers, obviously. And they believe, man, that this guy can get it done. Now, the deal breaks down in a crazy kind of way. The extension took 11 days to negotiate. It features $60 million in guaranteed. Okay, footnote that. Put a little star by that. And will earn Newton a reported $67 million in the first 3 years. Reportedly on this deal, the deal further breaks down like this: $22.5 million signing bonus, $7.5 million roster bonus due on Saturday, and $1 million base salary this season, all totaling $31 million for this season. So he's going to get most of that money this year. And so I guess technically that is a guaranteed deal as far as that amount of money, $31 million. But here's the deal. This kind of breaks down more. This deal is $60 million guaranteed, and that's the number they keep throwing out, in injury guarantees. This is something you haven't heard talked about a lot, so let me break this down for you. $60 million in injury guarantees is not the same thing, all right? It's not the same thing as $60 million guaranteed straight up. As simple as that. Like Colin Kaepernick's contract had around that much money in injuries and guarantees. The real number is going to be around $13 million. Okay? Guaranteed out of a possible $114 million. Pay for performances contracts are what they're kind of doing these days in the NFL after the latest collective bargaining agreement. So he's going to probably get most of that money. But in effect, if the Carolina Panthers wanted to cut Cam Newton tomorrow, they could do it. And all they'd really owe him at the end of the day is $13 million. Now, hypothetically, or that's hypothetical. That's not going to happen per se. All right. But this is all based on injury guarantees. So if he goes out in training camp or one of these OTAs and gets hurt, then he'll get $60 million. Okay? So they're kind of screwing around with these deals, and it sounds good when you announce it on the Puppet Factory, but you got to remember, this is football. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago when Adrian Peterson came out so strong saying how he hates the deal that the players have with the league and how there's no guaranteed contracts. And he's right. He's right. This isn't baseball. This isn't basketball where your contracts are guaranteed. And really, technically, the real number that's guaranteed is around $13 million. Once again, he's probably going to get that $31 million in guaranteed money that I talked about a couple of minutes ago. But football is screwy. They can cut your ass in a minute. They can get rid of you in a minute. But, yeah, I'm happy for Cam Newton in relative terms in comparison to all of these other guys that got all of these big deals over the last couple of years. Ryan Tannehill, Colin Kaepernick, and all of these guys. Russell Wilson's about to get his. You know he about to get paid. What, in 4 years, went to 2 Super Bowls, won one, should have won 2. Should have honestly won 2. So they're in deep negotiations for Russell Wilson's contract right now. He about to get paid. And I don't know how you can avoid not paying Russell Wilson after seeing what some of these deals have amassed with some of these players, some of these lesser players, or players that hasn't done as much as Russell Wilson has for the Seattle Seahawks. But he about to get paid. And I know a lot of people will probably point to the fact that the Seahawks have a great team, more so than the Carolina Panthers or even some of these other guys that we've talked about that has gotten these big contracts as far as quarterbacks in the NFL. But it is what it is. Russell Wilson has taken two Seattle Seahawks teams to the Super Bowl. Won one, should have won two. Old punk-ass Pete Carroll, and I like Pete Carroll, but I'm still mad about that. I'm not even a Seahawks fan. Can you imagine how pissed off Seahawks fans are? And we just brought this back up, and it's kind of, making me mad all over again. I mean, they literally gave away a Super Bowl. And when you think about it, it just makes you mad all over again. It does to me. I mean, it's absolutely disgusting. But, yeah, Russell Wilson about to get paid. But Cam Newton, man, congratulations to that young man from the SWATs, Westlake High School right here in ATL. A lot of people don't like Cam Newton. I absolutely love Cam Newton's game. His mechanics, I've been kind of critical on him on his mechanics and his temperament throughout the game. But, I mean, you see the upside. He's also one of the most marketable guys in the NFL. He's the face of the Carolina Panthers, one of the faces of the league. As far as marketing dollars, once again, no one probably surpasses this guy. You don't see any other football players really with their own commercials and their own endorsements and sponsorships like Cam Newton. Cam got it going on. There's no other way to say it. He's got it going on. I went into JCPenney a couple of weeks ago. Not even a couple of weeks ago, like this past week, because I was looking for some socks to wear the sundresses and seersuckers. So I went up in JCPenney, and I'm in the men's area or whatever looking for these socks, and I see Cam Newton's big mug like smiling at me. And I walk over there, and Cam Newton's got his own line of suits. I mean, how many dudes in the NFL got their own line of suits? Now, the suits aren't like any, they aren't like Garden Gore Trails or anything like that. That was a Cosby Show reference, if you got that. But, yeah, so they aren't like, the top-notch quality or whatever. But Cam Newton, following in the footsteps of the great Michael Irvin and Steve Harvey, has his own line of suits. I mean, so what does that say? You've seen him on that. You've seen him on what? He's got a Gatorade commercial, I believe, with the little kid. So, I mean, he's got a great personality, big smile. I mean, big-ass dude. I mean, he's got a personality. So, the Carolina Panthers had to go ahead and hitch their wagon to Cam Newton, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of years. He's still got a ceiling. I mean, a great upside as far as a player in the NFL. And the next couple of years, man, we will see what happens with him. So congratulations to Cam Newton. What are your thoughts? I mentioned this yesterday. If you're a Panthers fan, do you believe that Cam Newton can win you a Super Bowl? Or do you not believe he can win you a Super Bowl? They're going to have to add some more pieces around him. And we'll see, though. It's going to be a rough couple of years in the NFC South for the Atlanta Falcons. On that conversation, because Cam has his best years ahead of him. All right, when we get back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit of FIFA, man. I think this whole FIFA stuff, man, and Blatter and all of these guys and what's going on with FIFA is comical. It's very entertaining to me. So we'll kind of touch upon that when we get back. We'll also do birthdays. I'll read your chat. Don't go away. This is The Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. one of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster Doug, I see why you got kicked out of New Edition. Wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Welcome to Fantasy Island. This is the Doug Stewart Show. The Fantasy Island of sports talk and guy talk radio. And it's a Wild Out Wednesday. Thank you for joining your boy. Really do appreciate it. Talking about Cam Newton. We're also doing top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. Having some fun with that. We also need to do some birthdays here in a second. This segment is brought to you by National Debt Relief. They're one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, specializing in debt settlement. And they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. So before you file bankruptcy and do something like that, give my folks a call at National Debt Relief. The number is 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out. Yes, sir. So we're going to talk about FIFA and Sepp Blatter here in a second. But we're doing the top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. Kind of in honor of Rob Gronkowski and his family going on Family Feud. I mean, that's going to be a mess. I mean, they're going to have to do a lot of editing for that. So at number 5, I had Let's Make a Deal, the great Let's Make a Deal. Coming in at number 4, and this is really old school. You have to be old to understand this. And you know, most of my listeners are, middle-aged dudes between like 35 and 55, something like that. So most of the dudes that listen to this show, man, they're right at my wheelhouse as far as age, demographics and the type of things that we like and we grew up with. But this one goes all the way back to the early 70s, the Gong Show. The Gong Show, shouty. So let me explain it to people that have no idea concept what the Gong Show is. And you can YouTube all of these. All right, just YouTube them, and you'll probably that'll probably be the best thing. The Gong Show was actually like a talent show, and what they did was they had people come on and they did something, entertaining. They sung, they danced, or whatever. And then if they were horrible, they got gonged. I mean, it was absolutely horrible. So yeah, that was the Gong Show. The Gong Show was on from 1976 to 1978. The host of the show was Chuck Barris, which was a wild and crazy guy. Chuck Barris was crazy. I think they actually did a movie on Chuck Barris and the whole Gong Show and what was going on behind the scenes. But it was crazy because these people would come up there. It was almost kind of like stupid human tricks. And people would come out there and they'd sing and they'd be horrible. Not like me. They actually couldn't sing at all. They'd come out there and they'd have this big gong. And the judges, they'd have 3 judges, and the judges, when they had enough, they'd hit the gong, bong, and that would be it, and they would be out. And I guess if they lasted till the very end, then they got a prize or some money or something like that. But it was a fun show, and remember, that's what the top 5 is today. It's the top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. So coming in at number 4 on my list is the Gong Show, the great Gong Show, shouty. Chuck Barris, look him up. Look this show up on YouTube. This isn't like, the Gong Show isn't like most, game shows where they had a contestant and they answered questions or something like that, or they spun a wheel or something like that. No, this was total entertainment. It was crazy, kooky, slapstick type stuff, and at the end, we might give your ass, a gift certificate to KFC or something like that. So it was crazy. So the Gong Show comes in at number 4 on my list of top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all times. I know that's a long name. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Today's birthdays, Denise Williams is 65 years old. She recorded Free in 1976, as well as It's Gonna Take a Miracle. Yes, it's gonna take a miracle to make me love someone new, 'cause I'm waiting for you. Oh, yes. That Denise Williams.
It's 'cause I'm crazy for you, not waiting for you.
Okay, so Tree, the producer to the Doug Stewart Show, chimes in. For new listeners, that voice you hear in the background is my producer, Tree. Tree, how you doing this morning?
I'm good, and I was really good.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I thought we talked about this.
Talked about what? I'm lost right now.
We're just going to say the birthdays. We're going to say the birthdays and celebrate.
No. I mean, that's no fun. That's no fun at all. I mean, what? I mean, the people want to hear me sing. I mean, God gave me this talent to sing, so I got to sing. And,
I'm not sure why you keep connecting.
I know it probably doesn't sound, proper because, it's tough for a guy to do a woman's voice. But I try, and I give the people what they want. So, I mean, thank you.
Whose voice are you doing when it's Johnny Gill, a man? Or maybe we shouldn't use him. Whose voice are we?
Oh, I'm doing Johnny Gill's voice then. Okay. But then for a woman's song, I got to do the best I can. Still sounds great, but, I mean, it is a woman's voice, so we have some challenges. Life Jennings is 42 years old today. Met him before. Let me see. Do I know any of his hits? Let's see. Yeah, dude did a prison bit for setting something afire. I remember that story about him. He's got a real tragic story, but I don't remember any of his, and we don't have listed here any of his hits. I don't have any of his hits off the top of my head right now, unfortunately for y'all. So I won't be giving you a Life Jennings song rendition right now. I'm sorry. I apologize about that. And Otto Porter, 22 years old, former Georgetown Hoya, now for the Washington Wizards. He turns 22 as well. Oh, yeah, and Anderson Cooper is 48. So the great Anderson Cooper is 48, host on CNN, Anchorman. Yeah. Anderson Cooper. Didn't he come out gay? Tree, can you respond to that? Jump on the mic there for a second. Didn't Anderson Cooper announce that he's gay?
Yes, he'll be receiving his award.
His Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
Yes.
Yeah. So
he might have already gotten it. Right. You know who his mama is, right?
No, who's his mother?
Gloria Vanderbilt.
What? I didn't know that. He does dress kind of fly.
He dresses nice.
Yeah, he does dress kind of nice. Okay, so Anderson Cooper's 48 years old today. Happy birthday to all those people. And if you are celebrating a birthday or somebody in your family celebrating a birthday, shoot it to me on the chat line on Spreaker.com, and I'm about to start reading some chat here in a second, and I'll give you a birthday shout-out as well, man. I mean, you know this show is heard all across the world, shawty, not just in Atlanta or the Southeast or this country, but the world. I mean, Czechoslovakia, Iceland, Budapest, Hungary. I mean, we're all over the world. The Doug Stewart Show. All right, so you know the whole story. You know what happened. The U.S. Department of Justice levied these arrests and these allegations about impropriety and under the table dealings with FIFA, and actually arrested some people, which is crazy to me. I don't know how we can go and arrest other people from other parts of the country, but I'm not sure about the laws and how that type of thing works. But you know, FIFA President Sepp Blatter was very defiant. They couldn't pin anything on him. The U.S. couldn't pin anything on him, so he basically skated, and all in the middle of this, they had a re-election for the job, the president of FIFA, and the dude won again for an unprecedented sixth time. Yes! So it's like that thing, you know, lack of institutional control. So clearly there's a lot of corruptness going on in soccer and with FIFA, and he's the head of it, so he should be held responsible too. But no, because of the support and because of politics, he had support from all these little countries. And I'm giving you all of this in a nutshell because I haven't talked about it really at all. He's had the support of a bunch of little companies who he's probably paying off, okay, to be honest with you, and he won re-election. So he was very defiant after he had won, and the press had asked him why doesn't he step down, and does he feel responsible for all of this negative stuff that's going on, and all these people getting payouts and payoffs. And he was very defiant, and he had this quote, this famous quote from a couple of days saying, you know, I've won again, and I'm the president of everybody. I thought that was gangster as hell when he said, I'm the president of everybody. And I'm sure you've heard it. So, very defiant, but then on yesterday, he announced his resignation amid the corruption. And speaking at a news conference in Zurich, Blatter said he would remain in his position until a special election can be held to appoint a successor. He was just reelected once again for the fifth time as president of FIFA, and so I guess the pressure was coming down on him. I also suspect that they probably the U.S. is probably, and these investigators have probably uncovered more information, more damning information on Sepp Blatter. So I guess he figured he'd just get ahead of it and step down right now before the ish hits the fan. And so it's very, very interesting. And I know soccer is very near and dear to a lot of people in this world, slightly less to people in this country. There's soccer fans here, obviously, but as far as in a scale to the other three major sports in this country, much less. But, yeah, he steps down. Very interesting stuff. I thought he was a pimp, very defiant. They kept asking him the questions. I don't know if you saw the press conference that they had a couple of days ago. And the press kept asking him these questions. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and he was just like, so-and-so, next. But why did you do this? Well, because I felt like it. Next. Right. Like, F you. I don't care. Whatever. And I really respect that dude. I mean, I like that. I thought that was great. I thought that was fantastic. Whatever, son. F you. Next question. I don't care. F you. Next question. F you. Pay me. In the famous words from, who was it? Paulie from Goodfellas. F you. Pay me. F you. I don't care what y'all say. Sepp Blatter. Crazy. All right, when we get back from the break, man, the latest on Adrian Peterson going back to Minnesota. He's going back to Minnesota. He's actually already gone back. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Oh, this is perfect. The great Denise Williams. Happy birthday, Denise! My baby, he don't talk sweet. He ain't got much to say. Yeah, but he loves me, loves me, loves me. I know that he loves me anyway. And maybe he don't dress fine, but I don't really mind. Yeah. Every time he pulls me there, I just want to cheer. Let's hear it for the girl. Yeah! Let's hear it for my baby. Whoa! Hear it for the boy. Happy birthday, Denise Williams. I think I was off a stanza or something, but that's okay. You get the picture. Thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, boy. Now, that's classic. What year was that? What year was, let's hear it for the boy, Tree. Let me see if I can find what year it was. Let's hear it for the boy. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I mean, damn it, I'm going to have a good time, whether you do or not. Let's see. Let's hear it for the boy. That reminds me of like early 80s, maybe 81, 82. Let me see if I can find out. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let's hear it for the boy. Was 19.
I'm sorry. I was picking up my heart off the floor.
No problem.
What did you needed me for something?
No, I was trying to remember what year was. Let's hear it for the boy. What year it was recorded?
I'm gonna say 84. You know, it's from the Footloose soundtrack.
You're exactly right, and I'm looking at it right now. It was recorded in 1983, and it was released in 1984. Yes, sir.
I wish we could get her on the.
That was the day when women had big hair. I bet you, if you can produce a picture, Tree, of you in 1984, I bet your hair was big as hell. I know it was.
No, I was like 10 or 11, sir.
So what?
No big hair.
Well, so what was you? You were still in like ponytails?
Black girls
in 84?
couldn't have their hair out. You know, we had to have ponytails till we about in 9th grade.
You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So I'm looking at this picture of Denise Williams, and she has like this fluffed out little hairstyle as well in this picture from 1984. So, yeah, those are the great old days. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. That is the number. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. We talked a little bit about Cam Newton a little bit earlier. We also talked about FIFA and Sepp Blatter saying that he's going to step down. And also, we talked about this yesterday. Adrian Peterson, man, is back doing OTAs or at OTAs with the Minnesota Vikings, saying it feels good to be back around his teammates. And once again, this is something that Adrian Peterson just couldn't avoid. I mean, he just couldn't avoid it. There's too much money on the line. He had to go get his money. I totally get it. I totally understand. It's going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays out, though. It's going to be very interesting to see how this thing plays out because it's hard feelings. And right now he's saying everything. But when training camp starts, might be a little bit different. But he's got to get, like $13 million? He's got to go get that. So I don't blame the man for swallowing his pride, as I put it on Twitter this morning, swallowing his pride and going back and getting that money. He really didn't have any leverage, to be honest with you. And I think he just tried it. He kind of just took a shot at it, threw a dart on the wall and see if the Vikings would acquiesce to him and trade him or release him. And it didn't happen. We'll see what happens with Adrian Peterson and the Vikings. All right, this segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best of the world of entertainment, culture, and sports and what they have to offer. So give them a call at 855-638-3034. Once again, that's 855-638-3034. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yeah, speaking of Twitter, follow me on Twitter at the Doug Stewart Show, or you can find it two ways, at the Doug Stewart Show or at Doug, the number 2 live stews, and retweet my daily lucky tweets. I give you lucky numbers and a fortune type of thing. Dealing with sports. So follow me on Twitter and retweet today's lucky tweet. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Detroit, Matt, why is Atlanta having a rally for the Hawks today? Shaking my head. Because once again, sir, it's hard for you to understand if you're not from around here, the culture of this city. The city sports-wise has pretty much been down throughout its existence. And even though the Hawks got swept in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's still a great accomplishment, especially for the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, so I understand that. They're also announcing they're bringing back the Pac-Man logo. I don't know about that. They got rid of it for a reason. But I think it kind of became kind of in style and in vogue over the last couple of years, especially this year. They wore the old-school Dominique Wilkins jerseys, and people started feeling the Pac-Man logo again. And I say the Pac-Man logo. It's actually a outline of a hawk. But I think inadvertently when they did it, they didn't realize that it actually looked like Pac-Man going to eat some damn ghosts. And so they're bringing that back. That's going to be the official team logo going forward. And so, man, celebrate the great things that the Hawks did this year. I have no problem with that at all. No problem with that at all. From Vince Wright, Tree for BPA. Oh, Tree has been nominated and already has a star as far as BPA. For new people that listen to the show, BPA is a Boiled Peanuts Award. Ask somebody in the chat room about it. They'll tell you about it. So Tree's already been nominated. I love her to death, but, I mean, it's looking pretty good for her to win it this week. Starting next week, we're going to have some official online voting. We're trying to get that set up through this service. But as of now, we're just going to take kind of the feel of the people in the chat room and see who wins this Boiled Peanuts Award. But, yeah, Tree does, have a nomination already. So don't worry about that, Vince Wright. I got your back. From William Mack. Also, shout out to Kreflo for getting that $70 million Gulfstream, shawty. Call him what you want. Just don't call him jetless.
Woo, woo, woo. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
All right, so that's Tree again. All right, and for people.
Jesus. Oh, you can sing right here, Douglas.
For I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing for that crook Kreflo dollar. For people that don't know, it's a long, conversation on this show about Kreflo Dollar, the mega preacher here in Metro Atlanta, asking for a Gulfstream jet a couple of months back now, asking for his parishioners to pay like whatever, I think $50 a piece or I don't know, $350 a piece or whatever. And there was a lot of uproar about it, and the church actually pulled down that campaign, and it kind of went away. And it was all over the news, and somehow word on the street came out yesterday that his parishioners, after the fact, after it died down, they still sent this ninja this money for this jet. And Tree is, I don't know what to even call what Tree is as far as this conversation goes, but I would say Tree is more so of a proponent than an opponent like me and a lot of other people that listen to the show. And hey, whatever, man, whatever. I mean, golly. I'm not going to get it.
I am not a member either of that church, but I am a member and a card-carrying receiver of asking for what I want.
Right, but that's not what we're talking about, Tree. The whole, discussion, the whole debate isn't about asking for what you want. The whole debate is about the proper protocol of things and asking for something you shouldn't from people that can't afford it. That's what the discussion is about.
If they couldn't, who says do $70 million? Okay, so you're telling me that $70 million or however much it costs worth of individuals or every 10, they all didn't have the money, but somehow or another they paid anyway. Like that many people don't have the ability to say no. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know, Tree. I can't really get into a long debate about it because I don't think we'll ever agree.
Okay.
But all I know is this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
Him.
Clearly. All I know is this, is that the area that church in needs money. They need support from the churches, okay? And I think that money could be spent in a better place than having him ride in luxury. That's all I'm saying.
You mean
from
the
very
area where
beginning,
Evander's house is?
From the very beginning, okay? Well, you bring out an outlier. you bring out
no,
Evander
I'm
Holyfield's house.
Truth.
Yeah. That's one house in about 1 million houses in that neighborhood.
There are several hundred houses as you continue down that. I'm not going. I'm happy for him. I'm not happy for him. I'm happy for the ministry because it's not about him. It's about the ministry. And the donations, I assure you, did not just come from the College Park area. This is a worldwide ministry.
Tree, the man is a con artist and a crook. That's at the end of the day, that's the story. Now, everything.
And your proof is where?
There's no proof. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
And you know what? It's not just my personal opinion. It's a lot of people's personal opinion. But that's fine.
70 million say otherwise.
Yeah, you're right. Lord have mercy. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From the 47th problem. There are 3 types of men in church: con men, old men, and weak men. I'm just saying. That's very well put, man. 47th problem. Come kiss my go to hell. Damn, I hope my mama didn't contribute to Creffel's yet. I hope your mama didn't either, man. Fail paid. Got my large in the mail yesterday. Thanks, Doug and Tree. That's right. The Doug Stewart Show t-shirts went out yesterday, or actually earlier this week, and a lot of people got them yesterday. If you'd like to get your special edition first run Doug Stewart Show t-shirt, yes, donate $20 or more. I'm not like Creflo. I'm not asking you for anything really big. Donate $20, man, on the DougStewartShow.com, and we'll actually send you something for your money that you can wear out prominently and display to all of your friends. Trust me, it's a conversation starter. It is a conversation starter. When somebody sees you wearing the Doug Stewart Show t-shirt, questions will ensue. That's all I'm going to tell you. It's a conversation starter. All right, when we get back from the break, man, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, and all I'm going to do is read chat, and we will continue with our top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all times. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
not doing? What in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. Once again, I say thank you a lot, and that's by design because I really do thank you for the support on the Doug Stewart Show. I really do thank you for the support, man. It's big. It's big. The show, once again, the show grows every single episode. Every episode, we have more people listen that day than we did the day before. People love this type of passionate sports talk, guy talk, where we keeps it real. The little fun things that we do, like birthdays and top fives, and then you're blessed with my singing as well. I mean, this is great. This is fantastic, man. So thank you so much, man, for supporting the Doug Stewart Show. Yes, sir. Speaking of top five most fun old school TV game shows of all times, number 5 on my list was Let's Make a Deal. All this came from the conversation about Rob Gronkowski and his family, the Gronks, going on Family Feud. Number 5 on my list was Let's Make a Deal. Number 4, The Gong Show. Number 3 was Hollywood Squares. And that's right, coming in at number 3 is Hollywood Squares. So, yeah, coming in at number 3 on my list is, that's a little lame-ass theme music, is the Great Hollywood Squares. Now, the show started in 1965. Well, the first year, actually, was 1966. And you know who the host was? Peter Marshall, the great Peter Marshall. He hosted the show from 1966 to 1981 for 15 years. And you know, Hollywood Squares was set up kind of like tic-tac-toe type thing. And in each square, there was a celebrity, Joan Rivers or, somebody of prominence at the time. And they'd ask them questions, the contestants, and they'd answer the question. And if they did, they got a square or they got an X or a 0 or whatever, or a O per tic-tac-toe rules. And so Hollywood Squares, man, was on forever. Really funny because of the people they had on there. And a lot of people made careers from being on Hollywood Squares. Like, they did nothing else. Like, they had maybe a B or C role in a movie at one point in their career. And then they just made a career going forward from being and appearing on the Great Hollywood Squares. So a lot of fun and talented people always on that show. So they come in at number 3 on my list of top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all times. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Fatboy McCoon, everybody that goes to his church are some dummies. I don't want to call people that go to his church that, I don't want to outright call them dummies. I would say, in my opinion, I think they're misguided. And I think that a lot of times when you support somebody like that and you blindly do as they say, I think that you're just you're a believer. Let's put it like that. You're a believer. And I know a lot of these people, and I've met several people that have gone to Creflo Dollar's church, and after the fact, and they've stepped away from the situation for a while, for years. They look back at it and was like, they can't understand what the hell they were doing. Like, they don't even realize the impact and what society and a large portion of this country. Not everybody. A lot of people love Creflo Dollar. I mean, a lot of people do. Tree loves Creflo Dollar. I don't know if, once again.
I do not.
Hold on. Let me stop. I was about to correct myself. You don't love Creflo Dollar. You love, once again, what's that? What he preaches or what he asks for? I don't understand.
I don't love anybody. I love people. I don't love Creflo.
Okay.
I support and understand, as a person that has to do a lot of different things to make the type of ministry work that I do happen. Mm-hmm. I support asking for people to help assist me in doing that. And that is what I feel he is doing. And I am not judge nor equipped to tell someone, A, how to give, but B, what they should be asking for and where they should be delegating that.
Right.
So that's just I'm different, and I'm not going to apologize for it. And that's why that's why you and I are together. And you know that's why we're together, because I think different.
Well, and you're not different in that aspect where you're by yourself. Obviously, there's a lot of people that support.
But I just believe ridiculousness can happen. And I'm not saying that that's ridiculous, but he got it.
I mean, I think that was like a Freudian slip just now. It is ridiculous, Tree. I mean, come on. It is ridiculous for a man.
It is in humans' eyes, yes, it is.
It is ridiculous for a preacher to ask for $70 million so that he can ride a plane in luxury. It is, Tree. I mean, we're gonna differ on this conversation. It's really kind of a tough conversation to have, because it's damn near teetering on politics and religion, and definitely teetering on religion. So I even feel uncomfortable talking about this. And listen, once again, not saying that the guy isn't a great preacher and he knows the word of God. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I've always believed that the place of the church is to help the community, and the guy that's the head of the church is the preacher. And I've always felt that a preacher should live, comfortably, but modestly. Because any excess, let me say it. This is what I believe. You tell me how much you differ in agreement on this. I feel like that the preacher's sole purpose is to deliver the word. And I hate we even getting into this, because, we should never talk religion on the show. That the preacher should deliver the word and help out his followers, his parishioners, and the community in general. And I think anything in an excess should be devoted to said community or said parishioners. Anything in excess. Like, why would it be, what's the problem with Creflo Dollar flying commercial, okay, and the difference from that $70 million, taking it and helping out the community? I mean, that's what I don't get. That's what I have a problem with. And I think a lot of people agree with me. That's the only thing. I never said the man don't know the word. Obviously, he knows the word. But I just think that it's excessive. It's overly excessive. And isn't that a sin? Gluttony? Isn't gluttony a sin? I don't know. I mean, I'm not all in the church. Tree, jump off for a second one more time, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
I don't have anything else to say about it. I believe that it's fine that he asked. I believe that if he's using it to do ministry work.
Right. What's the definition of gluttony? Isn't it excessive?
It's excessive.
Right. You don't think a $70 million luxury plane is excessive?
No. I hope to have one day, and you can ride in it.
I'd love to have one day too, but I wouldn't ask anybody to pay for it. And if I did ask somebody to pay for it and they help me pay for it, I'd let them ride. You think that Creflo's parishioners going to get on this damn plane? If they make one step towards this plane, shot on sight.
And you know that how.
What do you mean I know that how?
That donated. Okay. It would be great to find someone that donated so everyone can stop speculating and saying what they think. And also, it would be also great if we could find out what things, because I can't imagine a church sitting in the middle of a community just sitting there for however many years it has been and haven't done anything.
I never
do not know.
Right. I never said that they haven't done great things in the community. I'm sure they have. But I know in this particular case that we're talking about, the money they use on this plane could have gone or should have better been used to help the community and people that needed it. You should get on the board
over there, and maybe you can help make those decisions.
Well, that's not going to happen. I'm just talking, actually. I'm just talking. From Cleo to 72, the $25,000 pyramid, Family Feud, Let's Make a Deal, Press Your Luck, and Price is Right. From Eddie Mo 2.0, Price is Right. Number 2, Press Your Luck. Oh, the great Press Your Luck. And number 3, $25,000 pyramid. See, these are more like traditional type in the last couple of posts that I've read, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. These are like the traditional type game shows where one person is asked a question and they answer it and then they win prizes. The ones that I'm talking about are kind of like fun and they have kind of like a twist. Like the Hollywood Squares has a little twist. The Gong Show is like a talent show. Let's Make a Deal. They dress up in costumes and all that type of stuff. But these that you guys are mentioning, my man Cleo the 72 and Eddie Mo 2.0, these are the traditional TV game shows. Yes, sir. Ronald Cameron, he says The Price is Right. Card Sharks. Yes, the great Card Sharks. Press your luck. Family Feud and the $25,000 pyramid. Yeah. All right, so we get back from the break, man. We'll read more of your chat, and I'll tell you about a wedding that's about to happen. We'll talk about that, all right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice, frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. I told you this show was real. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Wild Out Wednesday, top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all times. Sports. I mean, we do a lot of crap in 2 hours. You best believe that, Jack. And the show done got real. Ooh. And see, this is why the great Matt Edgar, our first program director when we were on radio almost 15 years ago, this is why the first day he sat us down, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, he sat us down, he's like, there's a couple of things you don't want to do. There's a couple of do's and don'ts. The first don'ts are never, ever talk about politics. And then I found out much later, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I found out later that politics really is a broader conversation, not just politics as in government. Politics is people's opinions. Right. If people feel positive about an issue, in effect, it's a political issue. It's as simple as that. Found that out many years later, after the fact. And then the other thing was about religion, man. And so I've always tried to stay away from religion, and we're not really talking about the religious aspect of the Bible and the teachings of the Bible or anything like that in the conversation about Creflo Dollar. But as I'm doing Larry David right now from Curb Your Enthusiasm, it's kind of teetering with this Creflo Dollar conversation. So because this is the internet, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, because this is the internet and I have a lot more liberties than I do on terrestrial radio, we can kind of delve into it a little bit, but I want to make it to a minimum. I mean, golly, because people are very opinionated once again about religious things and their preacher and who they support and who they love and who they believe in. I get that. I don't want nobody talking about my preacher either. So if I'm out in them streets, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if I'm out in them streets, and I've said what you would deem some very critical things about your preacher, Creflo Dollar, just relax, man. It's just healthy conversation. All right? Don't go crazy. Right. Don't try to step to me in them streets because I was talking about Creflo. Please don't do that. All right? And I know, once again, I mean, you follow the man to the end of time, literally and figuratively. You're passionate. You sit up in the pews each and every week, and so I get that. This is your dude, and you don't want nobody talking about pastor. I get that. What I'm asking you to do is just be civil. Let's be civil. All right? Don't drink no Kool-Aid. Don't act like Jim Jones people. All right? You see me out in them streets, holler at a player when you see him in the streets. And let's not talk about that. Just holler and say, man, you listen to the show, and you might want to just say, hey, man, Creflo's my dude, and we'll leave it at that. And let's keep moving. Just keep moving, Jack. Yes, sir. I got to watch my back on these streets. I live in Atlanta. Got some very threatening email just now during that break. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, it ain't that serious, player. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. My top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. Number 5, the great Let's Make a Deal. Number 4, The Gong Show. Number 3, Hollywood Squares. And number 2 is Family Feud, in which all this conversation came from. Rob Gronkowski and his brothers and his daddy are going on Family Feud. And you know who was the host of Family Feud back in the day in the early 70s. The show first aired in 1975 was the great Richard Dawson, who always seemed like he was, high. Just seemed like he came out of the green room smoking a doobie, as they called him back then. But Richard Dawson was the host from 75. And I guess he had a little hiatus. Then he left and came back in 76. I don't know how that's worked out, but I'm looking at this online. And then he hosted from 76 to 85, actually 9 years, left, and then came back in 1994 and 95, hosted it for 1 year. So the great Richard Dawson and Family Feud comes in at number 2 on my list of top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all times. And Steve Harvey hosts it. All right, so let me go through the list of guys that hosted this show. Ray Combs, I remember him. Louis Anderson, I remember him. Isn't Louis Anderson dead? I think he might be dead right now. Richard Karn, don't quite remember him right now. I'm sure I would if I saw his face. Ricky Lake did something with it in 2006. John O'Hurley from 2006 to 2010. Al Roker hosted the Celebrity Family Feud in 2008. I obviously don't watch the show to that degree. I don't remember that at all. And Steve Harvey has hosted it. Wow, I hadn't realized it's been that long. Steve Harvey has hosted the show since 2010. Damn. Steve Harvey, man, and Kevin Hart making all the damn money. Can you imagine the busy schedule Steve Harvey has? I got to be honest with you, man. In this business, especially when we were doing TV and radio, man, it's very, very taxing. We did ESPN for over 5 years, and pretty much it averaged. Our schedule was kind of like every other week, but it probably averaged, if you factor in vacations and other things we had going on where we couldn't go up there to Bristol. We probably did it every 3 weeks on average for over 5 years. And then doing that, along with little side hustles, along with the daily radio show, it was a lot. I mean, it's a lot, and I'm thankful for all the blessings, but it was a lot. It was a lot. You know, when you travel, your health usually suffers a little bit. Usually pick up colds and that type of thing, man. And then the weather changes. You know, this is hot Atlanta, and then we go to cold-ass Bristol, Connecticut. So it wore on you. Can you imagine how busy Steve Harvey is doing that daily morning show where he's got to get up 4 o'clock in the morning? They probably tape the Family Feud show. So they probably tape a bunch of episodes, but he's got to be at his best once again. And then he has the daily TV show, the daily TV talk show. So, golly, bless that man, bless that brother. Blessed and highly favored. And he's doing the damn thing. You can't hate on that. Only person might be more busy than the great Steve Harvey is Kevin Hart, who has seemingly a movie every other month. And that's no lie. That's not an exaggeration. This dude got a movie coming out every time I turn around. So them dudes are doing it at a real big level. So shouts out to them. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Hey, man, if you're a company out there and you like to partner with the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether you're trying to get the word out about your company, your brand, whatever product you may have or whatever, we got a great, unique demo of listeners, man, guys, middle-aged dudes, mostly Metro Atlanta, but we're worldwide as well, so we can do national things as well. If you think that it's a great combination between your product, your company, and sports, and the Doug Stewart Show, and the realest sports talk show in America, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and let's do some business, all right? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Mitchell, who we got here in the chat. Double Dare, newlywed game, honorable mentions. We're talking about the game show. I'll tell you who number one is on my list a little bit later. From Texas Ty, can't chat but had to drop in to give Tree a BPA nomination for hating on Doug singing. Keep on trucking, Doug! Yes! Do your damn thing, man! Man, thank you, man. You know what, man? It's support like that. It's support like that. Oh, why I continue to sing. It is. You know, I've had a hard life and a lot of trials and tribulations in the singing business, in this game I call singing. But it's guys. It's guys like Texas Ty that continue me on my path to singing greatness. Thank you, Texas Ty. I gotta take a break. Don't go away. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Cash money for the 9-8, baby. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And you're working into dashing, bashing, gashing, bashing. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Wow, man. I love the listeners in the chat room, man. Y'all are off the chain. Y'all are off the chain.
Indeed. Indeed.
Tree, would you like to say
Bravo.
something? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Would you like to say something or what? I mean,
got my kids calling me on the phone because they're listening and looking in the chat. Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know
That's
what, though?
Cool. I'm your sidekick, Doug. We don't have to agree on everything.
No, of course not. We shouldn't agree on everything. And this is going back, if you're just joining us, this is going back, I guess, to the Creflo Dollar conversation. That's the great thing about a talk show is, I mean, really, we got to kind of hope that people don't agree on everything. I mean, a lot of times people listen to this show because we have the same ideals and the same thoughts as far as a lot of topics. But it's really interesting when people debate and when they disagree. All right? And so we disagree on a topic on this Creflo thing. I mean, but that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to disagree, and it's okay to go from a dude to a woman. I mean, it's okay.
Okay. No. I'm going to need some security, I think. I'm telling you, my children just called me. My kids support what we do. You know, my children are really engaged. They probably are going to do this same type of work.
Right. And when you
say, our daughter is 16, and she's, Mom, are you okay? I'm listening to the show.
Right. And once again, Tree, listen, let me tell you, just like
Y'all
I told,
get it together.
Just like I told the listeners, and evidently what's going on is Tree's taking a lot of heat for her commentary on the Creflo Dollar situation in the chat room, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, come on, let's be civil about this. Once again, like I told Creflo's people if they see me on the street, let's be civil. Let's agree to disagree. Stop with all the inflammatory stuff in the chat room. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation, Jody. All right? Remember that. Remember that, Jack. Just remember that. Come on now. I mean, just because Tree doesn't agree with many of you in the chat room, It's okay. It's all right. The top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. Number 5 on my list, and this is my list. All of this comes from the conversation about Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk, tied in for the New England Patriots and his family going on Family Feud. So number 5 on my list was Let's Make a Deal. Number 4, The Gong Show. Number 3, Hollywood Squares. Number 2, Family Feud. And it would be so disrespectful if you didn't have this TV show at the top of the list for any such list like this. And that is the great, the legendary Price is Right. Yes, sir. I mean, it's the granddaddy of all daytime, game shows. The Price is Right. The great Bob Barker. Actually, I didn't realize this, or maybe I did realize this in looking back at the bio of The Price is Right. The Price is Right first appeared in 1956, and the host was not Bob Barker. Bob Barker is actually the second host. A guy named Bill Cullen hosted the show from 1956 to 1965. Then Bob Barker came in 1972 and hosted the show from 72 to 2007. Good Lord. That's a good run. So let me do the math. 72, 82, 92, 2002, 2002. So that's 35 years. That's a good gig. Him and David Letterman, man, had a great run on their shows, man. And so, yeah, you know what The Price is Right is, how it works, man. You go up there and you play the little games. I used to have my little favorite games. You remember the Palenko game? You remember the Himalaya game? Was it called Himalaya? Where they had a little mountain climber. Oh, it was called Mountain Climber. And then they had the little beautiful ladies turning over the cards or whatever and helping out, assisting with the games. And Bob Barker, supposedly Bob Barker was screwing a couple of them. Dirty old man. And so Price is Right is the creme de la creme of television game shows. I mean, there's no denying that. So that's my list. Let's Make a Deal, The Gong Show, Hollywood Squares, Family Feud at number 2, and The Price is Right. And The Price is Right at number 1. I'll talk about some of my honorable mentions. They've been mentioned a lot by the people in the chat room already. But I'll mention those in the last segment of today's show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia. The Georgia Bulldogs are in the recruiting conversation for former Virginia quarterback Grayson Lambert. At this early or this late point in the year, as far as, we're right around the corner from college football starting, training camp starting in August. The fact that the Georgia Bulldogs, after Hudson Mason has gone on to the NFL, who drafted Hudson Mason, or did he even get drafted? But now Hudson Mason's in the NFL, and I think he's I think somebody says who I'm looking. Oh, the Washington Redskins. I think Hudson Mason's with the Washington Redskins. But the fact that they're trying to get this kid to transfer. He graduated from Virginia, so you know how that whole thing works, like with Russell Wilson and now with Everett Goldson going to Florida State. They can transfer to another school outside of the conference. And so he's looking to transfer somebody to play his last year. He's eligible to play one more year. And the fact that Georgia at this late point in the year is trying to get him tells you a lot about the quarterbacks that they have right now. It's saying nothing at all. And so you're talking about the guys that are on the roster right now for Georgia that are looking to start in the fall. You got Bryce Ramsey, Fatten Bauta, as well as Jacob Park. Those are the three guys they're talking about for Georgia right now. But the fact that they're going after this Lambert kid says that they don't believe in any of them dudes. So it might be a long year in Athens this year between the hedges for the Georgia Bulldogs. So we'll see what happens. I haven't heard any confirmation on where he decided to go. But yeah, Georgia's in the market for a quarterback. Really, that's the big story. Yeah, you should be set and ready to go and not worrying about trying to recruit somebody from Virginia. And by the way, when he was at Virginia, he didn't light the world on fire. I mean, he wasn't great or anything like that. He's got experience. I guess that's the positive. That's the thing that you sell if you're a Grayson Lambert. But he's from Georgia, so there's a connection because Georgia, from what I read, tried to recruit him a little bit, but then they kind of backed away. He ended up going to Virginia, and the rest is history. So not really a guy coming in going to be the next, I don't know, Peyton Manning or anything like that, but they need depth, and they need somebody that can get under center for the Georgia Bulldogs this coming season, this coming 2015-2016 season. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can call in or you can email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to go, and what everybody's doing, and everybody's, a lot of people are giving Tree a hard time, undeservingly, is the chat on Spreaker.com. From Gary Joyner, Doug, sing Black Butterfly. Is that a Denise Williams song? If I knew the words, trust me, I would. I know the title, but I don't remember the words to the song Black Butterfly, Gary. I'm sorry. I could not fulfill your request. Maybe I'll even try to get that for you and sing it tomorrow or something like that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I try to get the people what they want. And if it's me singing Black Butterfly, then damn it, I'll sing Black Butterfly. From Redland Kirk, the Gong Show was today's America's Got Talent. Yeah, and I don't really watch America's Got Talent, but I know the concept. Yeah. It's basically that, but it was wilder and crazier. It was zanier. I really think, and remember I said it earlier, there was a movie made about Chuck Barris. I really think Chuck Barris was on very, very heavy, strong drugs. I'm talking cocaina. Candy is dandy. He was crazy. He was nuts. Or at least drunk a half a bottle of gin or something like that. From Togo, Uganda, BPA the Tree for not muting Doug. Muting me? Why should Tree mute me? Yeah, I'm confused about that post, sir. From Slide, the sports guy. Famous executed Crip Tukey Williams was on the Gong Show as a bodybuilder. What? Right, and that's another thing about the Gong Show. It wasn't just your traditional come out and sing or maybe come out and dance. Like I said earlier, it was kind of like stupid people human tricks. Kind of like Dave Letterman did, stupid pet tricks. It was kind of like stupid human pet tricks. So, yeah, a big-ass buff dude would just come out in front of the crowd, the audience, on stage and just start posing if he had muscles. Kind of like what my man Slide the Sports Guy is telling me here. So, yeah, I believe that. They just did anything. They just did crazy things, and a lot of times, obviously, they would get gonged. Thus, the Gong Show. From Chucktown Frank. The way you sing Denise Williams, Dougie, I am reconsidering giving marriage another chance. Thanks, bub. What? What is he talking about? I don't get that at all. I'm confused by that comment, Chucktown Frank. You my peoples, too. From Miss Mocabella, you remember what's happening when the Givens kids appeared on the Gong Show and Rerun wanted to be on there because he won the $500 prize and the Givens kid won? Yeah. Rerun, in effect, if I remember the episode correctly, Rerun flim-flam the Givens kid, who I think Raj was managing or something like that. And so Raj got them, the main character on the show, Raj got the Givens kid, these kids that he found, I guess through like a talent search or something like that. And he was like their manager, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Hell, this is 40 years ago. And Raj got these Givens kids on the show, but Rerun needed the money too. And Rerun was very, very talented. Very talented. And so Rerun went on there and did his dance and shabadoo. And he basically flim-flam Raj and the Givens kids. And I don't remember who won. I don't remember exactly who won, but I do remember that episode. Like, I literally could get into some type of competition for old school, for the most part, black TV shows. Like, if anybody ever wanted to battle me in Sanford and Son, Good Times, The Jeffersons, What's Happening Trivia, I'd absolutely kill them. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's crazy. I can remember stuff from TV shows from 30 years ago, but I can't remember what the hell I walked across the room for. CTE is horrible. Horrible. All right, we'll wrap up today's show when we get back. Don't go anywhere. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Oh boy. We got a mini little fire over here, man, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, this chat has just gotten out of hand today once again. This is why the great Matt Edgar told us never to talk about religion. People are very passionate about this. It's going to be okay. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. I got to keep reminding you, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. This ain't nothing but healthy conversation, okay? Don't get too serious. Don't get, mad at anybody. People are different. People feel different ways. And, good and well, I can tell you this right now, all right, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that the tree of life doesn't have a mean bone in her body. She's actually great, great people, all right? Don't make this about Tree. She's just of a different opinion than a lot of people in the chat room, man. I need y'all to calm down, man. I need y'all to calm down, all right? Chill. Chill, Jack. Take a chill pill, all right? It's okay. It's okay. Let me read a little bit more of your chat. Let me give you my honorable mention on the top game shows of all time on TV. Let me do a little bit of that, and then we're going to get up on out of here, all right? And we need everybody to cool down for like 22 hours. Is that the way it works? Yeah. We need you to cool down for a minute. So overnight, let's go back. Let's come back tomorrow refreshed, and do the damn thing. Have a good time around here on the Doug Stewart Show. Okay. Yeah. So top 5 TV game shows of all time. Let's Make a Deal at 5. Number 4, The Gong Show. Number 3, Hollywood Squares. Number 2, Family Feud. And number 1, The Price is Right. How about these honorable mentions? And these are more of the traditional type shows that some of y'all mentioned in the chat. You remember Press Your Luck? You remember Press Your Luck? Was that the one with big bucks, no whammies? Yes. The great Press Your Luck. Remember Joker's Wild? Joker's Wild. They kind of spun the big wheel, kind of like a slot machine in Vegas. And Joker's Wild. And then you had the Card Sharks. You remember Tic Tac Doe? Then you had What's My Line, which was kind of cool because somebody would say something, you had to finish off the line. I think it was songs, might have been music or whatever. And then you had oh, that's it. What's My Line was the last one that I had. And I also had the Gong Show written down twice. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions as far as top 5 most fun old school TV game shows of all time. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. A very interesting conversation today. The chat is the thing to do, man. The chat is the way to go. Follow the show on Spreaker.com as well as hit the little chat button and then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive. Also, man, I got to remind you, when the show is done in about 7-8 minutes, when the show is done, go on Facebook and follow and join the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group, all right? And it's the party after the party. Some people would call it the after party. So, yeah, follow the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group on Facebook and continue the conversation in here. So all of this Creflo stuff and everything we've been talking about today on the show, you can go on there with other Stewies and continue the conversation. Oh, man, we so interactive. We are so fan-friendly around here, Jack. We are. It's the People Show. From That Ninja, Doug, you effing up hits? What are hits? I don't understand that. I don't understand what you're talking about. I guess you're talking Alabamian, something like that. J-Rob, stop singing, Doug. Tree, help us. What are these people smoking today? Interesting. From Grego, they have a gong at Doc's in Smyrna. A dude was singing in there, and someone hit the gong, and a fight almost ensued. What? From Miss Mocabella, what about the Newlywed Game? Oh, yeah, Newlywed Game. Honorable mention as well, which was a crazy show, crazy, setup that they had there. Kiss My Go to Hell. Doug about to lose sponsors over his singing. What are you talking about? Actually, my singing is bringing in sponsors. Yes. From Polo Negro. Doug, if you really cared about your brand, wait a minute, that didn't start out right. That didn't start out good at all. Doug, if you really cared about your brand, you would stop singing on air. He put an exclamation point. You don't want to run off your loyal listeners. He put 2 exclamation points. It's like nail scratching on a chalkboard. Huh? Polo, and you, my peoples, you must have, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. There must be something wrong with your internet connection, and you must be going to that other show where the other guy tries to sing and is horrible. Yeah. I mean, so, you need to fix that because this show, man, I mean, we only sing the classics, and we sing them classically on the Doug Stewart Show. From KC, let's not ever, ever, ever. Okay, I'm not going to read that one either. There's something going on today. Al the Bandit, nice job, Doug. Denise would be proud, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Al. All right, I'm going to keep it together. For some reason today, we've got all of these posts from people, and I think they're confused between my show and another show. I'd like for you just to keep it tuned into the Doug Stewart Show and not, flip around. I really would appreciate that. But it's guys like Al the Bandit that with such words of encouragement, once again, on why I sing. It's dudes like that on why I continue to sing from the bottom of my heart. Scotty, hell yeah, Doug. Keep singing. Thank you, Scotty. From Grego, please don't use that in a commercial. Huh? Just act like I didn't read that one. From Fatboy McCoon, Doug, what's really going on? You sound like you getting your prostate checked out. How do you sound? Oh, I get it. So I haven't had my prostate checked out. I talked about me doing a colonoscopy a couple of days ago. So when you get a colonoscopy, do you sing like an angel? Is that what happens? Is it kind of like some type of effect when they stick that thing up your rectum? And you sing like an angel? Okay, I get it. Thank you, Fatboy McCoon. Thank you. From Vince Wright, Tree gets a BPA. Doug sounds like Caitlyn Jenner. I didn't know Caitlyn could sing. Wow. Caitlyn is killing it from all angles. You know, chopping off testicles and singing. I mean, wow. I mean, first you won the decathlon in 1976, and now this. She can sing. Man, that's a beautiful thing. That's an awesome thing. Yes, sir. Rubber band, man. Wild as the Taliban. 9 in my right, 45 in my other hand. Yes, sir. Thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show today. I mean, I got one question for you. Are you not entertained, huh? You know you are. Man, pass the word on the show. Tell at least one person. Take that little chat post from yesterday and send that out to one of your friends today, man, and give the gift of the Doug Stewart Show. I really would appreciate it. Shouts out to the Tree of Life Tree. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. The listeners, the Stewies, the dogs, and the poodles, they actually love you. I'm telling you. They just have a funny way of showing it. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Thank you. I think. And shouts out to my assistant producer, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Fasson, Gerald Oliveri. Thank y'all so much for making the Doug Stewart Show happen. Oh, I really do appreciate it. If you can, man, donate to the show. Go to thedougstewartshow.com, click on the little donate button, and if you donate $20 or more, we will send you the first edition run of the Doug Stewart Show t-shirt, man. Trust me, it's a conversation starter. All right? Tomorrow we do it again. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace!